TGIF. It's Friday, and I'm checking in with you because I haven't been on for a few days, and I'm right here in the heart of a storm, or coming out of a storm, I should say, in the Clearwater, Florida area. So if you haven't tuned in before, of course, if you follow me on Facebook, my name is Lana. My spiritual name is Sundari Kiddinkar. I teach Kundalini Yoga, I teach Hatha Yoga, I teach Vinyasa Yoga. And I also share some of my personal experiences and the wisdom that I've gleaned from them. So if you're here, throw me some thumbs up. Let me know if you have anything you want to discuss or you're struggling with, because this has been a strange period. Yesterday we just came through a new moon in Virgo along with an eclipse. And a lot of people are struggling. Most of it is relationship to yourself. Because all of our external relationships are a direct reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. And most often we want to just kind of look on the external to see how that's affecting us internally, but it's actually the opposite. It's the other way around. The internal relationship we have with ourselves is exactly proportionate to the relationship we have with others external to us. Now, something I recently went through myself was having to come to grips and terms with how I perceived others perceiving me. And a good portion of my life has revolved around what will other people think of me. So even if I may want to say that I don't care what others think about me, I really do. And I think that's quite normal for most of us. We may think we don't consider what other people would think of us when we make choices and when we take action in our life. But the reality is, we live in a world where human connection drives us. Love and relating to others is exactly how we make our choices. So even if we don't want to admit it, when we make a choice, when we think about things, we consider how will others perceive or think of us based on the choices we're about to make or we have made in the past. And as a result of this, we can suffer just in the mind alone on these perceptions we have of what others will think of us. And that can actually hinder our progress, our growth, our evolution in our lives, because we get so caught up in what others will think of us. Even those people who are not integral in our lives can impact us because it's all in our mind. So, is there anybody out there who's struggling with this? Life is funny, isn't it? It's a time when we really are all kind of hinging on what's going to happen next. There's a lot of uncertainty. Some of us are going through excitement because we feel something is coming. We don't know exactly what. Some of us are actually struggling with the fear because of the unknown, the knowing there's something and doubting the internal strength that is behind it. Something I love that Paulo Coelho says in The Alchemist: when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. So sometimes it's just as simple as setting an intention. Every morning, striving, setting that intention that, dear God, make me an instrument of your peace, right? This is the prayer of St. Francis. Just simply setting the intention that today, may I serve by your grace. Or something I like to say, to my highest sacred self, hey, show me what you got that's better than anything I could want, wish, or desire in this world. because I understand that I may have visions, I may have desires, wants, wishes, ideas of what would be ideal in my life. But guess what? I believe there's even better than what I can ever imagine. So why not expound upon it by putting that intention out into the universe, into the cosmos? So when you vibrate the cosmos will clear the path. This is one of the Aquarian Age sutras Yogi Bhajan presented to us. So sometimes we have to also recognize that the relationships we're encountering with others is the relationship we have to ourselves. So going back to that, when you don't establish personal boundaries of what resonates and what feels comfortable for you in your own personal power, others will continually show up to test those boundaries, whether you have them established or not. And we'll constantly have this lesson reappearing in our life until we've learned it. So when you see a familiar pattern arising in an experience that you have, take a step back, take a deep breath, and go, haven't I been here before? Ask yourself, how can I see this situation differently? How can I respond versus react? Because reaction's from the mind and respond is from the heart. It ponders, it reflects. How can I respond to this circumstance, this experience differently than I have in the past that will serve my highest good, which will enable me to grow and evolve past this so that I no longer continue to re-experience this lesson, because now I'm ready to move on and accept it as learned and overcome. Little things that you can do to allow your path to unfold with more of a flow, with more congruence with what your soul wishes to experience. So I was looking through an old blog that I tend to go through some of my old writings and go, wow, wait a minute, I've already written about this, or I've already reflected upon this in such a way that I might have forgotten. And so this particular blog, I was like, oh, well, let me pull this up. And a particular passage I had written was streaming through one of my meditations. And it was, Exalted, nature's power is to help you. Meaning, nature's power is innate in you, and it springs forward from you, as well as outside of you. We are a reflection. We are a continuous flow of the energies inside and outside. They say, as above, so below. And we tend to think infinitely external to ourselves, but we rarely consider internal of ourselves is just as infinite. Because when you have a form of a physical being, how is it possible that the infinite could reside inside of you? Because now you see this form that has a boundary. We see this being, whereas external to us seems more infinite because it's more profound, it's bigger, grander. But that's the irony. Even science has found that the more it studies the body, it keeps finding infinitesimal sizes, that microscopes are constantly developed to see smaller microorganisms. And we're talking like, science is just proving the infinite exists even on the inside. So as I continue, patience to gift the heart of the matter. Patience to gift the heart of the matter. We need to have patience with ourselves. Because the heart, it does matter, and it is matter, energy. And the heart tends to speak the language of the soul. So when we get something we feel touches our heart, it's basically the essence of our soul. And this is where patience is in our heart, where the mind is tending to be detached in an ego sense, trying to make sense of something that you can't always make sense of from the mind. And this patience, this gift of the heart of the matter, gives us the courage and strength to forge ahead in our lives, to move in our path and our purpose, on purpose, where change is forever constant. Because energy is constantly in motion, this is where change is constant. Energy is continuously changing form and unfolding in different ways for us. The ebbs, the flows, just like the tide, the moon, it pushes, it pulls. So I hope you are all enjoying a very safe Friday evening and reflecting in your life if you're finding your purpose, if you're living on purpose, if you feel struggles, and where the resistance may lie. Is it something that you are finding your mind is getting a little bit impatient with? Or are you able to drop into a compassionate heart and just reflect upon where you are with gratitude? And this too shall pass. Much love and light on this Friday evening. Reach out to me at any time. I'm here. Be blessed.